Hi, hello, welcome to Dusty Shop, where bad decisions are rapid and planning is lacking. So, don't do what we do. Well, you could try it. Have fun with it. You know, do the YouTube stuff. Click like and subscribe. Alright, thanks.
Alright, so here we are again today with the Ford. Me and George are going to put the engine back into this thing. So, will today be the day it runs on its own? We don't have either like with a heater or anything like that. I don't know with this thing. I hope we'll get closer. So, here we go. We'll take off and we'll get into this and let's get one little 302 back in this old that'd be great. So, alright.
Alright, circus goers, so it's happened again. Yep. Audio is just whipping me. So, with that being said, we'll do a little voiceover on this one, I guess, just so we understand what's going on, because after that was probably about the best part of this video, audio this time around. So, what we got here is George and myself. We've got the old 302 dangling on the old hoist right there. We done put all the freeze plugs, blah, blah, blah. We've seen the video on that. And what I'm doing right now, we're getting ready to set that little 302 down in the engine bay and make something happen. So, for those who've done this, work on cars and all this, this is kind of like, well, yeah, it's what it is. We're setting the engine down in there. So, we got it hung up. We got the old hood sit back as far as she goes. Some of these trucks, you don't have to take the hood off. You just gotta pin it back. Ford started doing that kind of earlier than others, and that's why it's sitting like it is. The way I get it out. So we just cleared it, and yeah, we'll watch as George and I, set the engine down in here, and we'll get on to getting her going.
Just like that. That's the hard part. Put it back on. Okay, got it.
Alright, circus goers, so we're back underneath the truck. We're hooking everything back up. We got really lucky on this old truck, though. To say this, the exhaust manifold bolts, which are notoriously just bad about breaking off when you try to take them off because they're rusty and been on here forever, they came off without breaking. Completely ecstatic about that. The exhaust, we just let it kind of dangle there. It's not the greatest exhaust in the world, but like I said, with that little note right there, that was everything went back together decent. So, these old trucks can be a little troublesome underneath here with old rusty bolts and stuff not lining back up. But yeah, we got lucky, and everything went back together nicely. Alright, so as George and myself, I'm adding oil, and we're hooking everything up here on the top of the engine. All the normal stuff. Believe it or not, these trucks are not all that complicated. There's a lot of vacuum lines, but when we took this thing apart, if you know how to do it, this one has almost all the stock vacuum lines hooked up. So luckily there's a manifold. Ford did a manifold with a manifold. So all I ever did was unplug manifolds off the big vacuum lines, and that way all the little vacuum lines can all stay hooked up. Because, oh lordy, I forgot with these 80s vehicles, it's been a long time since I've been under the hood of one of these that had all that stuff on it, and I got a lot of vacuum lines. that's what me and George are doing right there. We are, getting the last of like the power steering pump. Do we know if it works right? I have no clue. Not a clue in the world. We're gonna hook it back up. It didn't scream at us. We put oil in it. It didn't scream. So, like I said, I'm over here. We're filling her up. We're gonna, do all that. We still don't have a dipstick. Nope, absolutely not. We've seen where the dipstick still ain't in. It is still not in the truck yet. Hoping it'll show up here soon. Maybe, hopefully. So, but with that being said, we're gonna roll around through here and get some things hooked up so that we can try to abuse the starter and everything else on this truck to get it to do something. Hopefully, maybe it will be at this time. I don't know. Let's see. All right, circuit goer. So as we can see there, we are dropping the old battery in there. So let's see what we get out of this. I think here I'm hooking it up. Me and George are discussing, checking some of the other systems while we're messing with it right here, because we really don't know if the brakes work very good or if the transmission goes into gear and will work. So I'm gonna do a little quick connection check right here. I'm gonna kick the lights on. Yep, and then make sure nothing's smoking or carrying on. Make sure everything's nice and tight. And then we'll start to do all this right here and just see what we get. Well, that's not what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear bust out right away. So that the old cowgirl, she's up finest a little bit, but we're in here double checking, make sure we got gasoline, making it up, gas up into the carburetor there, because we did have it out and it was kind of dripping stuff. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna fill up the vents and put some gasoline in it. We're also gonna make sure we check that old good old Ford spark boxy thing over there on the firewall, because if you don't get those plugged in all the way or whatever, you have a tendency to not get no sparky. So I got the old can of ether, because if we have to, when in doubt, ether the hell out of it and let something happen. A little pinging and banging around when when the ether starts, that's okay. The motor will be fine. We're not like trying to kill it. The motor runs too good to do that. So, like I said, we're just checking to make sure we got, we check for fuel and all that other good stuff up there. So, and then, we'll try to crank on her some more.
Here's snorted good stuff. All right. And here we go. Go. Ready?
Alright, circus goers, so as I am sitting here looking at this, the reason for all the mystery and all that is this is where George and myself discovered that the top of the carburetor was cracked. It looked like somebody probably thought the float was a little stuck, and if you take like the handle of a screwdriver and just kind of give it a little love tap on the bowl there, sometimes it'll break it loose. Not smack it with a hammer like you're trying to drive a nail, because it does exactly what we have there. We have a cracked carburetor lid where the float is, so we're leaking a little gas. That's what the duct tape is for. You know, slow it down for a couple seconds so that we can, you know, do other things. But remember, tap the carburetors, not beat them like a hammer and nail.
Go.
Alright, circus goers, so as we see, if you just check the transmission and that little bit of grinding, that was George putting in gear because the, you know, it's a one wheel spinner still. Because, yeah, the brakes do work, but, so, yeah, so we know the transmission does go into first. We know that much about it. So, I'm going to call this, you know, right here for right now. Yep. We're just, like I said, we're discussing the game plan for now. Now that we discovered that the bowl and the carburetor is cracked. So what we're doing here, I'm kind of recapping. Needs a carburetor. I'm probably gonna put a carburetor. Probably to see if I can't pick up a carburetor for this thing versus a kit. We'll have to see. If not, we might get creative with some patchwork for that carburetor. I don't know at this point, but we're not leaking any water. The motor still sounds good. We accomplished that. That's why we pulled the motor. It was to replace all the freewheel plugs because it leaked like a sprinkler system underneath the truck. So, with that being said. Pulled the oil pan off, looked at the bottom of the engine, looks good. Somebody obviously kind of took care of it. It wasn't a bunch of sludge in the pan, and you know, not any shavings or nothing like that in the motor. So you know, the body doesn't show it, but somebody kind of took care of it. They may have been hard on the sheet metal, but they were easy on the engine. So you know, hey, one for the other. Usually we see it the other way. The sheet metal looks good, but the motors have just been, you know, pretty rough. A lot of sludge. This thing is clean. So with that being said, we're going to end it right here. I've got to find out how long it's going to take to get a carburetor kit or carburetor. You know, this thing's just been this way. You know, she's been just not wanting to. Just wants a lot of love. This truck has been probably sitting up and been abused, obviously, by the sheet metal and some of the other things to this thing. We're giving it a little bit of love, and it just ain't done with us yet. With that being said, we'll with the carburetor found, carburetor kit, whatever. Hopefully the oil dipstick will show up here pretty quick before we do the next one. And we'll top off the transmission. Like I said, right now the transmission's low. So top the transmission up. Once it can stay running long enough for me to really check it real well. I'm just guessing because it won't stay running. But yeah, we'll do that. We'll get the transmission filled up, and hopefully, we'll finally get this thing to go outside and shift, drive, and maybe, you know, I'm thinking cutting a donut. Maybe I don't. Burnout would probably be a little much, but I think we could probably take it up in the old dirt and you know, cut us a few donuts with this thing for shits and giggles, and make sure everything works. Bed's bolted down so the bed won't go flying off, and then yeah, we'll see what happens there. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you.